Well, hey there, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Island Church Weekly Podcast. I am joined, as always, by Pastor Will McRaney. Pastor Will, how you doing today, brother?
I'm doing well, Matt. It's a beautiful day. It's some great weather on the island.
Yep.
Lots of good things happening, and a lot of things to
Yep.
be very thankful for. So it's a good
Awesome.
time in the life of our church, and good time for us personally too. We're
Yeah.
seeing some good things happen.
Awesome. Awesome. I love it. Yeah, there's always so much happening around the church, but it's also that kind of magic time of year where the weather is still cool enough, it's enjoyable. We haven't gotten to the heat yet, so it's just a perfect time for everything to be happening at Island Church. What was Sunday like at Island Church, though? Tell us a little update.
Sunday, we had out some additional chairs. We got chairs very close to on one side. I thought
Doing that
nobody's ever.
every single week, it seems like, is more chairs
Yeah,
having to be put out every week.
yeah. So we've about put all the chairs we can put in there. Let's start stacking them through the
Yeah.
middle. But Mark and Ty, he's given leadership with our treasurer and also with our campaign, Bridge the Future. And Mark and Ty looked up and they're sitting. There's three that sit on one side, so we could create a second row. But it's really down close to me. I mean, I can't reach out and touch them, but there's right there. I thought nobody's ever going to sit there, but
Yeah.
they had to sit there.
Yeah.
So it's a good thing. Another good thing. It had quite a number of guests, people that are returning. We've had some people that are coming in from the island, are coming into the island that will be with us maybe a month or 6 weeks, and then we got people that are just locals here, so younger couples that have been engaging with us the last several weeks, and so it was really good in terms of our service. Good feedback from the people that were there in terms of our members and the people that were guests. So I finished up that series on getting fit, and we all
Yeah.
want to get fit spiritually. We want to get fit spiritually. So then we ultimately, what I'm transitioning into is so that we can then engage, and we're going to be engaging through our campaign. But it's not just through our campaign. We're going to be engaging our community. It's a great opportunity for us. It's a sweet time in the life of our church, and it's a good opportunity on the island. There's transition taking place, and like you said, it's a beautiful time of the year. So it was a good Sunday, another really good Sunday for us.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, what's coming up around the church? Events, different things that people need to know about.
Well, upcoming, our next two major kinds of things we have going on is March 23rd and March 25th are going to
Yeah.
be what we call the gathering. And what we're going to do is talk about, it's not our gathering on Sunday mornings, but we're going to have a gathering related to Bridge the Future. We're going to be laying out our plans. What's it going to take financially for us to do this? What's a timeline potentially look like? Those are always have to be a little bit flexible with those. What's it going to cost us? All those kinds of things.
Yeah.
And just tell why we're doing this. Our people, Matt, are really excited
Yeah.
about why we're doing this and how this is doing. And if they understood some things about culture, which I'll talk about some trends that are going on in the United States and trends on the island, they will be really amazed how it seems that God has orchestrated this and put this together just
Oh,
this particular time.
yeah.
So March 23rd, March 25th, I want our people to we'll end up making a reservation for one of those 2 days. To one of those 2 days, we have a limited number of space, and so we want to get you signed up for one of those. And then Easter's right around the corner, so Easter egg hunt is going to be in April, but we won't get that far ahead. But on March the 30th, whether you're a new person in our church or you're been established in our church, we invite you to stay after the service for probably about 45 minutes or an hour. It'll be a fun time as we all
Love it.
stuff Easter eggs. And you
Yeah.
say, how much fun could that be? Well, trust me, I've watched it. You'll have
Yeah.
some fun.
Absolutely.
It's fun to watch, and then we get to accuse the people that we want to hassle a little bit of eating candy instead of stuffing it. But
I love
it's
it.
a fun time. So
That's a
that's
good
coming up.
time coming up. That's for sure. Cool, cool, cool. Anything else that folks can be kind of having on their radar, maybe a little bit farther out, or that's the big stuff for now?
Well, we'll do a little bit of training and preparation with Momentum to get ready
Yep.
for Easter. But
Yep.
on the sunrise service is on the 21st, which is Easter, and then our Easter egg hunt's on the 20th. So I would just encourage you to make plans to help us on the 20th.
Yeah.
It takes all hands on deck on the 20th and as many
Always.
as possible the 21st as well. We're going to
Yeah.
be back on the east side of the beach at Fort DeSoto and pulling off that service. If you haven't been a part of that, that's typically 500 to about 750
Yeah.
people there.
One of the biggest events we do all year.
It's the biggest thing that we pull off all year. That's right. And
Yeah.
people get a chance to hear the gospel. We do the service in about a 40-minute format. And then the day before, we do the Easter egg hunt for the kids. And we'll have several hundred kids. And
Yeah.
I'm going to hold out some of the numbers, but their number of kids on the island are really growing.
Yeah.
And so we're looking forward to that, hosting them there. So that's kind of that's on the
Love it. The
March and
further
April
out horizon.
campaign to get we're going to get this building finalized. We're going to raise the support for this. We're going to get behind this. We inherited, one of the, we didn't find the world empty when we got here, and we don't want to leave it empty when we leave. That's an illustration, whether man planted a tree that wouldn't be reach its maturity until after he was gone. And he said that, and we all recognize that, and we get a chance to express our gratitude for what God's done in our life, from what he's done in the past, and what the people in the past of this church that made it possible for us to even gather here. We gather because someone else thought of us, even though they didn't know us, and we get to do the same thing. We get to build a facility that will help us both now and long after we're not here anymore.
Yeah,
and so this is really exciting to invest in eternity like this. And so that's the big thing. And the biggest need we have right now, Matt, it's kind of a information, and it's kind of a prayer request, I guess, for our church is we have quite a number of boys that are engaged in our church, young boys, children, boys.
Yep.
And so they need some men role models and men teacher. And so we're in the process of trying to ask several people, or you certainly can come see me or see Stacy and volunteer. We need every week, we need to add a person into that children's ministry. Stacy's going to help us coordinate it. Kaylee needs to step back a little bit because of work responsibilities and family responsibilities and some of her education that she's completing. She's got a lot on her plate. She's going to be around, but we want to step up. So we're going to need several men, probably about 3 men to step forward that at least be on a rotation basis. And we're going to need several women, again, 2-3 women to help us do that. And so come see me on that, or I'm going to come looking for you. No.
Yeah. There's volunteer recruitment is a real thing, and if you see Pastor Will in the hall, maybe go the other direction if you want to be recruited. But he can find you. He's an athlete. He'll chase you down. That's for sure.
Well, we all know we're all kids, but we get a chance to not just do a duty or take care of fill a need, which is important. What we actually get to do is to invest in a young person's life. We absolutely have no idea the ways we can touch them, how God will use that. That's really what we get to do. We get a chance to partner with parents and help shape children in the midst of all the things that are going on in the world. We get a chance to introduce them to Jesus and help them in their faith towards Christ. And that's a privilege. That's not just a duty.
It's a huge blessing. Yeah, for sure. All right. Well, Pastor Will, how can folks be praying for the church this week? Kind of already gave them hey, we have a need. Here's a kind of a call to action, but is there a way specifically they can be in prayer with the Lord about the church this week?
Well, they just pray. I mean, as we think, we just are reminded that we have a spiritual enemy. And as this project gets moving forward, the enemy doesn't like to see us advance. This is a big missions effort for us. It's not about our comfort, and people will be hearing more about the details of that. It's not about that. It's a big advancement to the kingdom. It's basically widening the footprint of God's kingdom on the island. So we're going to have the spiritual attacks, and we're going to have opposition. And they come in many different types of forms, but I would just ask people just to continue to pray for us, undergird our church as we reach out into the island. And then, as always, you want to be making connections with friends and praying about that friend that God would put on your heart to invite to be a part of our church family.
Love it. Well, Pastor Will, thank you so much for the time today. Thanks for sharing your heart. Thanks for sharing ways that people can get connected, plugged in, serving at Island Church. Thank you all for watching. We'll see you back here next week.